Hello and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a tier list, as you can see. We're going to do the bosses from Kingdom Hearts 1. Looks like the final mix version from the design of the bosses. Not that there's much difference, but obviously the design of the bosses is a little bit different in the final mix versions. This is also out of order, which is really bugging me. It's like, because you've got Ansem over here, which is near the end of the game, and then Trix is over here, and he's like one of the first bosses. It's bothering me. It's bothering me a little bit. But we'll try and go in a sort of order as you do in the game. I can't 100% remember every single order. You think I would, how many times I've played the game. But from looking at this, I'm obviously going to get a bit confused because it should be in the right order. It's messing with my brain. So without further ado, we'll get started. And we'll go with the dark side first, because he's obviously the first boss you fight in the Dive to the Heart and Destiny Islands. I know he's technically sort of like the training boss, but I'd still count it as a boss. Now, I'm going to put him in the S tier, mainly because he's very iconic. You fight him like, what, 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 times in the game, I believe, off the top of my head. I'm probably over-exaggerating a little bit. He's a very iconic boss. He's one of the bosses you initially think of when you think of Kingdom Hearts. He's one of the first Heartless that you see, and he's just really cool. He's got to go up there just from the fact that it's just like a trademark of the game. Like, it's one of those things that you see that you think, oh, Kingdom Hearts, straight away. It's great, I love it, and it's a good boss fight as well. It's not too hard, it's not too easy. The one at the end of the game, when you just saw it on your own when you're having to fight Ansem as well, it can be tricky if you don't know what you're doing, especially the first time you fight it. So I'll stick it up in S rank just because I love the design, I love the boss fight. It's just good fun, and it's just great. I love it. So next up is okay. Would you count Leon in Traverse Town as a boss fight? I don't think you would you? That's probably why he's not here. Shut up. So we'll go for the Trickster next, because I know he's one of the earlier bosses. Ooh, where am I going to put you? I'm going to put Trickster in B tier. Not much to say about Trickster. He's the boss at the end of Wonderland. It's a cool design. I like the fire things that he spins in his hand. I like the design of it. It's cool. You have to jump on the chair to hit him, or you can use magic. It's a basic boss fight, which can be tricky if you say like on like critical mode or proud mode. It can be quite annoying to actually get a hit on him. But I haven't really got much to say about Trickster. Never been a big fan. Never really loved it. Never really hated it. So I'll stick it in the B tier. Who is next, technically? I mean, I'm trying to go off the top of my head here and see who's who, but we'll go with Sabor. Why not? He's one of the earliest bosses in the game. I'm going to put him in C. So you've got Sabor on here, but you've not got any of the other mini bosses. Not going to argue. Sabor's fine. You can either lose to him or beat him when you drop into deep jungle at the start. Doesn't really matter. He hops around a little bit here and there during the world when you're in there. Can get quite annoying. And then there's the fight. You have to fight him before you fight this boss here. The stealth sneak, you have to fight him before you fight him. And you can go back and save it, but if you're an idiot like me, you don't do that. Especially when you're on the hardest difficulty and you're trying to do like a low level run and all this stuff. Doesn't matter. But yeah, Sabor, C tier. Not that iconic, not that great, not that interesting. It's just a boss fight to get in the way of the actual boss fight, which is this SOB right here. Now this guy, this stealth sneak SOB looking ass thing. Also, where's Clayton? Oh, it drove me mad when I was a kid. First time I played it, God, I struggled with this thing so much. I don't know why. It just drove me mad. I don't know whether it's because I was under-leveled or what. F that guy. It was so frustrating the first time, but it's a great boss fight, especially with Clayton involved as well. Well, I don't know why Clayton isn't here on the tier, but you know, we move. It's a great boss fight. It's a good ending to the Deep Jungle story. It really does challenge you with your skills so far that you've been playing the game. You've developed what you've learned so far. You've leveled up a bit, and you get Cure for beating this boss. So I'm not going to moan at getting Cure for beating the boss. It's actually very nice. Who is next? Cerberus. We'll go Cerberus next. Cerberus is... It's not a great boss fight. It's not a bad boss fight. I like it a lot more than Trickster. I'll put it in A. Just because, again, it's iconic. Hercules is one of my favourite Disney films. And it's just fun. It's cool. He stomps Cloud, which is quite funny. But no, it's a good little boss fight. Again, it's a bit of a difficulty jump, like with Deep Jungle. You can sometimes stealth sneak, they can sneak up on you, and it's like, oh, game's getting harder now. You better start training. You better start checking your equipment, checking your spells, know what you're doing. And it's a good little challenge. I like it. It keeps you on your toes. Keeps you on your toes. What is next on this list? You got the Monstro boss over here. Isn't that? I don't think that's next. Is it the Cave of Wonders, or do you get to try it? It doesn't matter. Like we'll do it this way. So we'll do the Cave of Wonders. Don't really like it. It's dead annoying. Gets in your way. Does my head in. It can go in the D tier. Not a big fan of it. Never have been a big fan of it. It's just an annoying boss fight just to get in the way of progressing the game. Same with this little SOB as well. You can stick in there. I can't even remember your name. That's how much I don't like you. That's how much I disrespect you. You can do one. You just... You're the annoying pot thing, aren't you, from Agrabah? Yes, you are. Yes, it's staying in there. Hate that thing. That's the final mix version. Final mix SOB thing, yes. Jafar. This Jafar boss fight isn't that fun. He can go in the C tier. He just hops around unless you stop him when he's through mid combo. Can get quite annoying. Can get quite stressful if you don't know what you're doing. And the fact he just darts about everywhere does my tree in. Genie Jafar can go in B. Again, I've not got much of an opinion on it. It's a pretty standard boss fight. You don't even hit Jafar. You have to hit the lamp. So it technically should be a picture of the lamp here on this tier list. But hey ho, what we're going to do? I've just thought, where's the guard army? Oh, it's here. Completely missed out the guard army. Completely missed him out. I'm going through the bosses in my head whilst I'm talking, so I'm kind of confusing myself. We'll put the guard army here in between Stealth Sneak and Cerberus. I really like the guard army. It's a really cool boss fight. When you meet Donald and Goofy in Twilight Town, it's good fun. It's another one of those iconic loops. You look at that, you think, oh, that's from Kingdom Hearts straight away. It's such good fun boss fight, and then might as well, while we're here, do the reverse army. Again, it's not as cool as guard army. It's quite an easy boss fight considering it's supposed to be the harder fight. It's quite easy. You've just got it. By this time, you've learnt more spells. You've learnt probably dodge roll and block by then. You probably would have learnt their moves by them, so you would have been fine to beat this. Donald and Goofy also can pound the crap out of this. Really easy boss fight. Not much to say about it. We'll move on. I forgot about you, Queen of Hearts. That's why I forgot about you, because I don't like you. I'm not saying anything about that, it's just annoying. The Monstro boss, I can't remember its name off the top of my head now. I like it, it's fun, it's a lot of fun. It's not A tier though, I'd say it's B tier, because when it traps Pinocchio in its belly, it's just frustrating. Who's next? Now, do we do Halloween Town, or do we do Atlantica next? I haven't got much to say about Atlantica, so I'm just going to do this. Look, Kingdom Hearts 1 Atlantica is a lot better than Kingdom Hearts 2's Atlantica. Don't get me started on why I don't like Kingdom Hearts 2 Atlantica. It's the same reason everybody else doesn't like Kingdom Hearts 2 Atlantica. But I'm still not a fan of it. The swimming mechanic is dog poo, and this boss fight is alright when you have to cast the spells on the cauldron to counter Ursula. That's alright, not too bad, doable. This boss fight, when she goes for the bite and sucks you in, absolutely drives me mad every time I do it. Even though I know how to do it now, the tactic is easy. It's still, every time I'm playing the game, I come up to this bit and I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, here we go. Ursula again. Boring. Don't like it. Get gone. Get in the bin. D tier. Stay there. Next, Lock, Shock and Barrel. You're quite fun, actually. You're quite a laugh. You're more fun than Jafar and the Trickster. It's quite a laugh. You just have to fight these three when you get up to, getting up to Oogie's lair, which brings us nicely onto Oogie Boogie 1. Oogie Boogie 1 is better than Oogie Boogie 2. It's better than Lock, Shock and Barrel. I like the Oogie Boogie 1 fight better than the first one. I'll explain why in a second. But it's a lot of fun. It's a bit of puzzle solving in the middle of it with the fences going up and stuff like that, and the dice and stuff like that. It's just fun. It's fun. I like it. It's not too much to go into. It's pretty easy. You can wallop him pretty quickly. But it's better than this absolute piece of garbage that does my head in when you have to do all the climbing. You're not as bad as Ursula or the Queen of Hearts. You know what? You can go top of D. It just fills up the world for fills up the world's sake. I don't like it. This fight should have been longer, and then this fight could have gone, personally. It's just climbing up and attacking blobs that I've attached to Oogie Boogie. It's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing really that entertaining about it. The entertaining thing about it in the final mix version is when you go back there and you fight the secret enemy. I think it's like a slot machine thing or something, and you have to hit it with precise moves, and it gives you the items you need for like ultimate weapons and stuff like that. That's the only reason I like going back to there. Oh, and getting the Trinity, obviously. But no, not a big fan of this boss. You know what? This is one of my favourite games, and I've put one of the bosses in S tier so far. So I don't know. Shush! You're making noise there. You can shush. You can shush your mush. Sorry about that. So what shall we do next? Neverland is next, I think, from the looks of this. Yep. So we'll do Antisora. You know what? For what Antisora represents and for what it is, it's got to go in the S tier. It's like the whole Dark Link vibes from Zelda, and you know Zelda's one of my favourite series as well. So I've got to put Antisora up there just for that alone. It's not a hard fight, so to speak. It's not an easy fight. It can get a bit irritating if you get swarmed by all the other Antisoras, like the dummy ones. They can get a bit annoying. But apart from that, it's quite fun. It's a fun little trip around when you're in Neverland. I like Neverland as a world. It's a lot of good fun. And this bit is just, it progresses a bit of the story, to be fair, so you can't really complain. So let's look at this little SOB, Captain Hook. You know what? Hook's actually a good little boss fight. He actually challenges you as well. I'm going to put him next to Stealth Sneak in the A tier. He's actually quite challenging. He can guard and counter you, and it actually puts up a bit of a fight, and it's again telling you that the difficulty of this game is about to ramp up again, because you're sort of approaching near the end of the game when you get to Neverland. There's only a couple of worlds left. So it's a good ending boss fight to the world. I like Neverland as a world as a whole. It's one of the best in KH1. The gliding can be a bit off sometimes, but it's not too bad. Excuse me while my cat jumps on my knee. Hello, cat. Say hello, Rory. Say hello to the camera. Nope. Okay, don't. Next boss. Who is next? Maleficent. Now this fight is, you know what? I don't mind this fight. You can go next to Captain Hook. The Maleficent first fight isn't too bad. You just basically have to attack the platform, drop her onto the floor, whack it with your KIE-BLADE constantly. It's not too hard. To be fair, it's actually pretty easy. But there's a reason it's pretty easy, and that's because of this SOB right here. This is the Maleficent Dragon. They've cut its head off. Don't ask me why. I didn't make this tier list. But the Maleficent Dragon is one of those fights that really tests you. Because it's so massive in Hollow Bastion and it takes up so much of the arena that you're fighting it in, it's really hard to get around to it and get a hit on it. The best tactic I ever had was just summoning Tinkerbell and just going in for the kill and keeping an eye on your health, on your MP. Using magics really helps. Stops are really handy for this fight. But Tinkerbell is probably your best option to defeat Maleficent Dragon, especially if you're quite under-leveled. It can be really challenging. Next up, we get to probably what is the best boss fight in the game. Again, they've chopped his head off, but it is my favourite boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 1, and it is Riku KIE-BLADE. I'm assuming that's Riku KIE-BLADE. I can't see the KIE-BLADE, but I'm going to guess it is. It's the most iconic boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 1. It's the most entertaining. It's going to be the most challenging for the main story if you aren't ready for it again. It's Sora and Riku on their own battling it out, and it's near the end of Hollow Bastion-ish. You've got one more boss at Hollow Bastion after that, but you have to go back to Traverse Town first. But Kairi, you're about to rescue Kairi. She's lying there. Riku KIE-BLADE is there in front of you, and the whole cutscene in between it is epic when Riku goes for the slice and Sora guards it and says like, "There's no way you're taking her heart," and then the fight begins, and his moveset is ridiculous. He might as well be some sort of like mild Dark Souls boss. But it's great, and if you can get a good like combo on him, you can really whack some health off him. So I really enjoy that fight. It's great. Next is the Behemoth, I believe, off the top of my head. Behemoth, you're a bit of a basic fight, but you're more entertaining than the guard armors. You're more entertaining than Maleficent. I'll put you there. Again, it's a big burly SOB kind of boss. It's just big. You have to get on top of its head, attack the horn. There's not much to it. Cast Aeroga, or Aeroga if you have it at that point, and just whack it. Dead easy. Fun. Chernobog, I'd say, is next. I really love this fight. I tell you why I love this fight is because it's got the music from Fantasia. That's the only reason I really like this fight. And it can be hard as balls as well because you can chip some health straight off you. This is at the end of the world. Terrible name for a last world in the game, but you know what? The World That Never Was a great name. End of the world. I see what you're trying to do. Great boss fight. Can be difficult. Fireballs galore. Be careful. Summon Tinkerbell. It just makes life easier. Ansem, Ansem's got to go up here, hasn't he? He's got to go up next to Riku because you're basically the same person. The first fight when you've got Donald and Goofy, dead easy, doesn't take long. The next fight when you have Sora on its own can be really challenging, really test your skills as just Sora. It's a great boss fight. He has lots of moves. You've really got to master that dodge roll and know when there's attacks are coming. It's great fun. I love it. And then the end of the world, or whatever it's called. You know what? I'm going to put it top of A because it's like a 4 or 5 stage boss fight, and you have to keep an eye on your health, keep an eye on your MP, rescue Donald and Goofy in the meantime. Do hit waves of Heartless to rescue them. You're going up there. It's a good final boss of a game. It's just like the design of it. You think when you've played the rest of the game of Kingdom Hearts, you're like, this is a strange design for a final boss. It's like a massive airship. But it's fun. It's a good boss fight. It's probably the worst final boss fight of the main 3 Kingdom Hearts games, but it's still good. Whacking Ansem at the end when he's attached to it is always good fun. Just slapping the crap out of it is always entertaining. And now we're on to the secret bosses. Some of these I'm not going to make much comment on. So Ice Giant, you're quite easy. You literally just have to deflect your ice bolts. That's dead easy. You go down pretty quickly. You give a good KIE-BLADE. Kurtzisa, again, I'd say is B tier. Not that entertaining, pretty easy. So like, yeah, the Ice Giant is obviously in Olympus, and Kurtzisa is in Agrabah. The Phantom, you can go over here. I wish I could put you all the way here in the bin. I hate you. You're annoying. Your whole fight is annoying. Your status ailment thing is just my head in. Your doom casting, you can just do one. I've beat you many times in my life. I would be happy if I never ever fought you again. Sephiroth, he's got to go up here, hasn't he? S tier, because he is of the base game, not the final mix version. He is the Don. He is the hardest fight in the game. He has that much health that you can't see his health getting chipped away when you hit him, until you knock enough health off him. His moves are ridiculous. If you don't know what you're doing, you have to practice this fight. It is ridiculous. It was a really, really fun cameo to have in the game, and it kicked off the whole Sephiroth is an SOB in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, and I loved it. It's a really good boss fight. His sword is ridiculously too long in this game, though. I'm just saying. And then this is Xehanort, isn't it? Or I believe it is. This fight is actually ridiculous. You're going there as well. Anybody who's played it knows exactly what this boss fight's about. It's ridiculously hard. It is the big challenge of Final Mix. I do not enjoy it as much as Sephiroth or Riku KIE-BLADE because it is just too frustrating. Something to think about, again, is the way forward. Keeping an eye on your health. Mega Elixirs are the best thing you can ever have. But it's a good boss fight. All the boss fights are mostly entertaining apart from these here. And obviously Phantom is a git and I don't like him. But overall, I'd say that's a pretty decent tier list for Kingdom Hearts 1. Let me know what you think. If you disagree or agree with me in the comments. If you want more tier lists, drop us a like, drop us a subscribe, let us know, share the video, make sure people can see this. And we may do a Kingdom Hearts 2 one in the future. But that is the tier list for my Kingdom Hearts 1 bosses. Take care, guys, and hopefully see you soon. Thank you.